Why is it that most people don't follow their dreams and they don't do anything about it? They have the visions, they can see it, they can feel it, they know it in their hearts, but they don't do anything about it. Well, when it comes to it, going after your dreams, going after your manifestation requires courage, right? It requires bravery and it requires self-leadership. And when it comes down to it, I want you to ask yourself, are you open? Are you ready? Are you welcoming the unknown? There's so many people out there, they say, I want magic, I want to live the life that is insane, and I want, all of these beautiful things to happen in my life. And yet, they lack courage to go after the dreams. They lack discipline to keep going and to make it happen. And they also are afraid of going into the unknown. Magic and miracles happen in the unknown. And, when we say the word unknown, it sounds a little bit scary because, as natural human beings, we're afraid of what we don't know. But actually, if we reframe it and we say that it's actually not the unknown, but that's where the magic happens. That's where the magic zone lies. And how we want to say yes to magic is we have to say yes to the unknown. If we don't want our life to be linear and boring and mundane, then we know that there has to be some kind of bold actions, some kind of unexpected, out of the ordinary things that happen. Isn't that what miracles are? Isn't that what magic is? And when we tune into that, have you thought about, maybe if I just give myself permission and go right into the things that I want to do and just give it a fair shot anyway, because actually everything is a possibility, right? We live in a field of infinite possibility. Whether you pass, whether you fail, there's a fair chance. And it's based on what you really believe it would be. So as I'm tuning into the energy of really going after your dreams, your goals, and making things happen, and when it comes down to it, it comes down to the energy of being courageous. It comes down to the energy of bravery. So ask yourself, am I brave enough to go after what I want? How can I say that I want to live a life full of abundance, magic, and miracles, yet I'm ruled by fear? Yet I allow fear to stomp me under, weight me down. How is that a life of miracles? So when it comes down to it, isn't just bravery and being courageous, is to look your fears in the eye and walk with them? Because honestly, sometimes your fear is just in your head, right? How many of us can really attest to that? When it comes down to it, is this little voice that becomes this shadowy monster, but they don't really have any power if you don't give it the power. So fear is there, and if they play a big role in how we approach our life, because if there's a real danger, then we need to kind of be aware of that. But what if there is no real danger? What if there's no real danger? Right? We ask ourselves, what's the worst thing that can happen in any given scenario always? Why? Why do we have to think about the worst case scenarios in every given situation? Why is it that we don't even dare to entertain what is the best thing that can happen in every scenario? And maybe the best thing that can happen is you finding out who you are, you finding your strength, you finding your truth, and you finally living the life that you've always dreamed of. And I remember when, growing up, I've always been a shy, introvert, very kept to myself, insecure type of person, until I decided to not play that role anymore and not play that character anymore. Because let me ask you a question. Do you feel that deep inside your soul there lies like a badass person? There lies kind of like that fierce, wild person, even that your exterior looks really shy and introverted and soft or whatever you want to call it, I know deep in there's a wild spirit, and that's what it is. We are physical, human, yes, but we're also this infinite spirit that runs wild. So allow your wild energies to come through. Allow your curiosity and your vitality to come through. That is your spiritual essence. We live in a world where there's so much restrictions and structures into who we need to be, how we need to dress, how we need to come out looking like. So this is where we feel like we are not being able to tap into our truest essence, which is infinite. When we allow this essence to kind of come through, we will find that, oh my gosh, there's an infinite possibilities out there. I could be anything. I could do anything. That can be mine too. The lifestyle I see on TV, that can be mine. The way that person is doing that thing, I could be doing that too. And actually recently, one of my beautiful clients, she said the same thing to me. She said, actually, I started looking at the people on the screens, the people that I watch, the people that I find inspiration in, instead of like, oh my gosh, they're so cool, I started thinking that, oh my gosh, I could do that too. That could be me too. And this is something that I work a lot with my clients, of like that flip of the switch, that identity switching, where we are being open to the infinite possibility that, of course, I can do that too. Of course, that gets to be my life. And I started playing around with this energy from a couple of years ago, and my life has completely changed. All of the people that I find inspiring on YouTube, on books and stuff, I started being in their spaces. I started working with them. I started being friends with them, and even interviewing a couple of them, and being interviewed by a couple of them. So really, the world is your oyster. The world is really there as a playground, and a lot of our spirits, we come here to be in this human form, to explore, to see how we can stretch beyond our limitation. That's part of the game. But are you playing the game? Do you remember that you're in a game? Can we have fun? Can we be open? Can we allow more spontaneity? I don't know how to say it, but that word, right? Spontaneous energy to come through. Can we allow ourselves to be more courageous, more brave, to see our fears and say, you know what, I see you, but I want to live a phenomenal life, so I'm going in. I'm going for it. I'll say yes to it. Life, give it to me. I'm ready.